Good day and welcome to yet another episode of Chess and Wine. And I am Eddie Bila, and today's episode is going to be so exciting because what we have for you is updates on the chess events, obviously chess tournaments that are coming up in the next few weekends all over the country. You chess players, you hunters, hyenas, and all the hunters from all over the country. There's a whole lot happening for you to be chasing after. But before we get to that, we're going to try and make sure that everybody understands what chess is. Just let everybody know what this sport is. Because, I mean, you see us going crazy about the sport. You see us obsessed about the sport, loving it so much that we could spend the whole day playing chess without being concerned about whatever is happening in the backgrounds of our lives. Because if you know how to play chess, chess becomes the center of your life. I mean, for very, very valid reasons. Number one, chess is a sport, yes? But it's a super sport. I'm hoping that other channel gets the idea of what we're trying to do here. They need to feature chess. So, but before we get to that, let's look at how it's played. All right. So chess is a board game, an intellectual game, a mind game. We say intellectual because obviously it happens in the mind, and the intellectuality, the intellectual life of anybody happens up here in the mind, right? So yeah, it's a game of ideas, it's a game of war, it's a game of battle, it's a game of strategies, but basically, it is a game, a sport that is meant to sharpen your mind. It is played between two opponents, white and black, and it's two opposing sides battling it out to checkmate the opponent's king. So your number one priority is to ensure that your king is safe. Your king is safe. This is the king. And obviously ensuring that, well, your goal actually being to checkmate your opponent's king. Checkmating being to cover your opponent's king and attack it and block it or lock it into a corner, into a square where it cannot escape, where it does not have an escape. And obviously the king is forced to surrender its kingdom to you and you're victorious, just like that. You see what I mean? So it's a game of problem solving. It's a game of puzzle solving. It's a strategic thinking game and all that. Because all of these things are what's happening while you are playing the game. Because you know what they say, right? They say whatever it is that you spend most of your time doing is what you are developing, is what you're improving in your life. So if you spend most of your days playing chess, you are improving a whole lot of different things. You're improving your strategic thinking skills. You're improving your problem solving skills because you constantly have to solve problems. But then again, you get to experience a whole lot of emotions, a whole lot. I mean, what is life, by the way, right? Like, you know, they always say chess is life. Life is chess. Chess is like life. Life and chess are one and all of that. That is because all of the experiences that one's life bears, like that you can experience in your whole life, you can get to experience all of these feelings, these emotions, these thoughts and everything in a game of chess. You get to feel anxious. You get to feel fear. You get to feel excitement. You get to feel hope, expectation. You get to feel loss. I mean, you get to deal with loss. I mean, people get attached to pieces. They get attached to winning. They get attached to positions. And when things change, when you lose a certain piece that you already were attached to, you need to deal with that loss. And when you lose a game as well, like even from opponent that you underestimated, you have to deal with that loss, having lost something, right? You get to learn to be patient because sometimes strategies take longer to come to fruition. And when that happens, it requires you to be patient and not be hasty and end up making some moves that will obviously compromise your position, make you lose pieces and end up losing the game. So you need to be patient and believe that your strategy would work. Again, you get to learn to think on your feet. So all of these things are happening when you're playing game of chess. You're getting to, you know, they say chess is one of the only sports or the only game even that activates both sides, both hemispheres of your brain at the same time as you play. So both sides of your brain gets to light up because obviously in that experiment they had to connect all these what do they call this things in the brains of chess players to see which part is activated whenever they are in the middle of a game. Because there's a part that lights up when you're worried. There's a part that lights up when you're hopeful. There's a part that lights up when you're anxious. There's the part that lights up when you're feeling that excitement from within that you don't want to show, or that you're obviously trying to hide it. Because you see that poker face thing again that you need to, because obviously you can't show excitement, you can't show fear, you just need to keep a straight face this whole time when you're playing game of chess, right? So now they do that experiment and they obviously connected the players' brains into this I don't even know what they call these things, but then obviously it just shows when the part of your brain is active. because that part of the brain lights up. But when people are playing chess, their whole brain lights up, which means the whole brain, the whole human brain gets stimulated when you're playing a game of chess, which makes it so important, so crucial, which makes it a sport, but also a development tool, which makes it so very important that we ensure that our communities, developing communities, our kids, growing kids, get to have and experience this game earlier on in life. I mean, if you get to be introduced to the game of chess later in life, it's still fine. It's still good because you can still get to feel those benefits. And it's very easy. It's very affordable to actually establish whether a chess club or to start learning how to play chess or to teach somebody how to play chess. Because once you've got a chessboard, which costs something from 150 rands to 100,000 rands, depending on the type of chessboard that you're going to be using. But it's very affordable, again, you see. And then, very importantly, you need to at least have a skill coach or someone who knows what they're talking about, teaching you the basics of the game. Because once you learn the basics, the brain just gets to grow. This thing just grows in you and you just learn some things. You become creative on your own because that is another aspect of chess. Creativity. You get to develop that creativity because, again, the more you do this thing, the more you get creative over the board, as the more you get used to being creative and you're able to be creative. So whenever a situation requires that you be creative, snap, just like that, it happens like at a snap of a finger. It's quick, it's easy. All right. But then again, if you don't have access to a chess coach, you can always, like, this is a manual, a chess manual that I've written as a chess coach, obviously, just to ensure that people from anywhere, because we're trying to make chess accessible, right? From anywhere that don't have access to chess coaches but are interested in learning how to play chess, or you know how to play chess but you don't know how to teach your own young ones how to play. You're given this very short manual that'll give you all of the basics that you need to know. Or what to teach them or how to teach them. Because there's nothing more concerning than a person who's been playing chess for 10 years and they're still stuck at the beginner level. Well, that's because they haven't had the right foundation, the good basics, obviously, to get them up there. So now our main concern is that people in every community must, if we really want to have communities of thinkers, of people that can be leaders, right? We need to bring them chess. Because I remember in the last few weeks, or was it last week during the Cape Town Masters Challenge, there was one of the reflections by Dr. Lyndon Bauer where he was speaking about the influences of chess on some of the great leaders. And he actually chose to speak about Lenin, the Russian Lenin. Imagine, who knew that Lenin had chess influences? Because again, like some of the greatest leaders, top leaders, they have their influences from chess. Like if you are a leader somewhere in an organization, in any structure, and you're running a big company, you're running or an organization, whatever, if you did not have chess help get you there, then you must have issues dealing with anxiety. You must have issues dealing with stress because you are not properly trained and properly prepared for that role. And that is why maybe sometimes you get to, in any given day, you get to contemplate suicide once or twice. It's not something to play with. But if you had chess, you would know how to deal with anxiety. You would know that the situation is not always going to go your way. But when it doesn't, you look at what's going wrong and you try to improve that. Chess teaches us a whole lot of things, and that's why we're making so many efforts to ensure that there are chess clubs developing in every community. There are visible chess players that people can go to and learn the game. And that is why we're saying kudos to all the chess clubs that are coming up to life. It's 2023, it's a new year, the year is just beginning, and we see chess clubs everywhere coming up. Some of them have already been there, but then they are already coming back to life because they want this sport to grow. They want their communities to flourish. They want to see kids growing up to be responsible adults. We all want that. We want to give the kids the strongest sense of self so that when they get to the age where there's all of this self-destructive influences coming into them, like the teenagers now, they get to go to clubs, they get to go to other places, tertiary universities, and they will meet all of this, come across all of this negative influences, obviously in the midst of other positive influences as well. They will have that strong self to fall back to because we've given them character through chess. That's the introduction in The Coach, my book. You can check it out on Take A Lot as well, takealot.com. Just type The Coach by A.D. Pila and you'll get it for 200 Rand. So that's one of the intros. Because when you give them that strong sense of self that one acquires from learning and playing chess, they are not shaken by the winds of all this negativity that fills our spaces. because they've got that focus, they've got that ability to think past or think through situations. People in any type of communities can think through their immediate environment and then obviously see themselves, have a vision for themselves, for their future, and then obviously go for it. Come up with a plan, a strategy to acquire, to achieve it, to get to it, or like we're doing with this channel as well. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. But let us go to it. Let's get to the events that are taking place in the next few days, in the next few weeks. Like next weekend, we'll be having a few tournaments from some of the provinces in the country. Now, let me go to my screen and check for you. If you're going to be in KZN next weekend, KwaZulu-Natal, there is a chess tournament in Umhlanga, which is hosted by the Umhlanga Chess Club under the auspices of the KZN Chess Academy. So this is the La Lucia Rapid 2023 on the 21st of January. So the entry fee for that tournament is 100 Rand, and the first prize winner will get 1,000 Rand. Second prize is 600 Rand, and third prize is 400 Rand. If you are interested, get in touch with Eric Takawira on 073-434-8634. If you're in Limpopo, yep, the Limpopo province, you will have a chance to attend the Seshego New Year's Open Chess Championship. Seshego. So in Limpopo and Seshego and Tsumeja Primary School. This one is hosted by the Limpopo Chess Academy. There are two sections to this event. There is the section A, which is open to all players of all ratings and age groups. It takes 120 rands for you to enter, and it has the following prizes. First prize is 1,500 Rand, and the second prize is 800 Rand, and third prize is 600 Rand, and they've got a fourth prize of 400 Rand. They also have the best lady prize of 300 Rand, and the best veteran prize of 300 Rand. And the veteran, obviously, they're talking about the players who are aged 50 and above. This is quite interesting because it brings me back to the issue I was speaking about in chess. The fact that chess can be a great sport for 5-year-olds and for 50-year-olds. It's one of the few sports that you can have a 5-year-old playing in the same venue, even on the same board with a 50-year-old. So yes, veterans get prizes for obviously the best over 50 player, and they have the best junior player, the best junior player prize. That will be 200 Rand. But then again, in this event, the top prize, the section A first prize is guaranteed. Section B first prize is guaranteed. But the other prizes, second, third, fourth, are all dependent on the number of entries. So if they get more entries, which means also it'll mean that their prizes will also increase. So hopefully a lot more people take part in that, because we want to encourage people to play chess. Obviously, the prize money is the incentive. It's the thing we give them to keep them coming, because we know that once they're here, they'll get a whole lot more than the prize money that they're running after. They get chess, they get life. All right, section B, it's 70 Rand to enter, and it is for players rated below 1350. That is 1,350 ratings. If you're rated below that, or you are a junior player that is 17 years and below, you're going to be playing on the B section. The prizes here are 700 Rand first prize, 350 second, and 150 Rands third prize, and 100 Rand fourth prize. So first prizes are guaranteed on both sections. I've already mentioned that. It all depends on the number of entries. For more information, you can contact Joe. I'm assuming that is the Joe Mahomul, but yeah, it's Joe on 072-828-1063. And if you're going to be in the Northwest, in Rustenburg, we have the Harties Wolf Pack Chess Tournament, hosted by Hartbees Sport High School under the auspices of the Bojanala Chess Federation. This is a classic event. All right, the past few events that I've mentioned are rapid events. Obviously, they've got 30-30 time control, or 25 plus 5 seconds. They're very quick ones. But this one is a classic 60-60 plus 5 seconds increment. So it has 6 sections, and I'm not going to mention all of them. You can see them on the screen. The 6th section, there's the, There's the Queen section and the development section. So the entries range from 100 Rand entry for the development section and 180 Rand entry for the Queen's section. The Queen's being the highest section. Like the Queen here being the strongest piece on the chessboard. So the Queen section is obviously for the strongest players. And the other section is for the developing players. All right, so first prize The Queen's section is for players rated 1,200 points and above, and it has prizes for first, second, and third. First prize being 1,400 Rand, second prize being 1,000 Rand, and third prize being 700 Rand. Details on the screen, so if you're interested, you can contact Lincoln on the email provided. So his email address is lseptember@compliancefactor.co.za. But Lincoln, can you please try and give us a phone number? People like WhatsApping these days or contacting you. Maybe they'll just give you a phone call. But emails, I mean, how many people still email for info? Except for the schools, of course, because it's open to schools as well. So if you're in the Western Province, the Western Cape, on the weekend of the 28th and the 29th of January, we have the Cape of Good Hope 2023 Chess Championship presented to you by the Chess Western Province Federation. This one has a prize fund of 14,500 Rand. So prizes are not yet broken down, and obviously the venue is still not confirmed, so a whole lot more details on this tournament are not yet provided. And obviously the contact is an email address, which is provided. But obviously we'll update you because that's on the following weekend. It's on the 28th or the 29th. But here's one that concerns me a bit. And I will explain why it concerns me so much. We'll come back to it. Let me just read it for you. Is the Kings and Queens tournament in Mangaung. That is in the Free State. That is on the 21st of January, and it's hosted by the Kings and Queens Chess Club. The entry fee is 120 Rand, but there are no prizes advertised. Communication is also via email, so if you're interested, you'll email kingsandqueens@gmail.com. But here's the reason why this one concerns me. Because they did not advertise the prize, and you're going there, you pay 120 Rand to enter, but you don't know how much you're going to win. Here's what happened. I'm not saying that they do this or they will do it, but this happened to me a while back when Ehlanzeni Chess used to also host tournaments and not advertise their prizes. And obviously afterwards, I had some rumors that these things happen and so forth. So what happened was, for the open section, there was an entry fee of 200 Rand. And there was a number of players, where I don't know, maybe 15 of us were playing in that section. And I came out first place. I won the first prize of that event. So the first prize was not advertised. So obviously they call you to stage, they give you a cheap medal, and you go there, get a handshake and an envelope. So I go out, I open the envelope, and guess how much I find in that envelope? 150 Rands. And I had paid 200 Rand entry fee. And I won first prize. Can you imagine? First prize winner, paid 200 Rand to enter the event and wins 150 Rands. Already having made a loss. And now I'm thinking, how much did I spend coming to this venue? How much did I spend eating? Because I mean, it's a whole day event starting from 7 in the morning until 6 in the evening. And then you win 150 Rands. And it's not like you get your 100 and your 200 Rand entry back. I had to tell them to give me my money back, like the entry fee. This is crazy. It's insane. And then afterwards, people are starting to talk and they're saying, these people, they look at you before they give you the prize. If you're not someone they know, they'll obviously give you that 150 Rand prize money. And you can't fault them because they didn't advertise the prize money. But if you're someone they know, someone obviously within their circle, they'll give you a proper prize money. You see what I mean? So there's a whole lot of unfairness that is possible if the prize money is not advertised. So tournaments need to get used to advertising, letting people know that if you come out first place, this is how much you're going to get. If you come out second, you're going to get so much. Third, so much. Fourth, and so forth. Unlike not advertising the prize money, because now you finish, you don't even know how much you're expecting. Or you've already you've spent, because these things discourage chess players from going or attending into events. Because I'm thinking again, there are obviously those people that we want to refer to as the old guards to chess. Obviously, trying to make sure that not everyone has access to chess. Like trying to keep chess as an elite sport. Like, or maybe just preserve it or reserve it for certain communities. And we don't want that. We don't condone that. Like, nobody should support that. And I believe that we have the Players Commission in South Africa, in Chess South Africa. And it is the Players Commission that is meant to defend players against such events that are advertised without the full details. Right? Because Players Commission, Playcom, which is part of the Chess Council, must have that as one of their responsibilities. I'm not sure if they do or they don't, but they should have that because they must be there to protect the players' interests. Players, I mean, they pay money for rating fees annually, and obviously the structure itself exists to protect players, to promote chess, and to ensure, because I mean, as part of promoting chess is to ensure that the people that are already within the sport are protected and they feel safe and they can invite others from outside, and that is how the sport grows. Wow. This has been a very interesting episode. Unscripted. You see, like we're trying to do it like we used to do it in the previous years. Well, we don't. Because again, if we script it, it's going to be on the screen the whole time and I'm going to be looking back at the screen and back to you and so forth and so forth. And it's going to be obviously time. I'm not even sure how long we've been doing this. I'm hoping that it's not longer than 15 minutes because some of you are going to hate me for that. But if it's not, then I'm proud of myself. But if it is, you will have to forgive me and still love me. But remember to subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed, please like the video or share it with friends and family. Let's grow chess together. And obviously, get the book, The Chess Manual. I'm sure it's still available on takealot.com. And also get the Coach Life Adventures Through Chess and find out how chess superstars are made. And obviously find out about the politics in chess that affect this development that we're all trying to make, which includes that of having tournaments that are not advertised properly with the prize funds. We don't want that. So let's continue growing chess. Make sure your kids learn how to play chess. If you love them and you want them to grow up to be something, if you want them to be able to deal with the pressures of society, the pressures of life and everything that life throws at them, please do that. I feel like I'm sweating because I'm passionate. But forgive me, that's just my passion talking. It's Jigga somewhere in one of his songs. But yes, this has been Chess and Wine, and I have always been and always will be ADP. Thank you for watching. Good evening, good morning if it's morning to you, and good day. Thank you.